everyone. Today I wanted to show you a project that I'm going to do with rice paper that was found in Sonnet's Garden Blooms. She has a maker's box each month and you get exclusive papers. You get 2 Roycycled papers and 2 Connie Lines and Designs papers from the Painted Photographer. And this is one of Connie's papers that was in the March box. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that today. So I had a wood blank. I call them wood blanks. It had wording on it. I always pick these up whenever I see them at garage sales or out thrifting if they're a good price. And what I did was I gave it a coat of Fusion's Cathedral Taupe paint. I thought it matched pretty well with the background of Connie's papers. And then I took the IOD stamp called Veranda, this stamp right here, and there's 2 lattice pieces in here. There is a large lattice piece and a smaller one. So I used the smaller one on this project, and I used Stays On ink in the color gray, like the charcoal gray, I believe. And I stamped. It fit perfectly in here, and I thought this would be really cute. So I wanted Connie's paper to stand out a little bit more. So I went and found a piece of scrap wood, and it fit almost perfectly. And I went ahead and painted the sides in the Cathedral Taupe. And then I did a coat of chalk paint. I believe this is plaster. Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. Just to make Connie's paper pop out just a little bit more. So we are going to decoupage this on here really quick onto this piece of wood. And then I'm going to show you what else I'm going to do. So I'm just going to lightly mist the paper. This is just water in a spray bottle. And I have a little starter strip going here. And I'm just going to try to center it on there the best I can. I'm going to be sanding off the edges to make it fit a little bit better, but I want to make sure I don't have any of that white showing once I sand that off. And I think we are good. So do any of you subscribe to Sonnet's Maker's Box? She has one that comes out monthly. Get a lot of variety of things that you know, that I probably wouldn't have tried before. So there, that was pretty easy to decoupage on there. And just making sure I have it all down. And I'm gonna let this dry, and I will go ahead and sand. I can come back and show you how I sand the edges really quick, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to place it on this wood sign that I had painted. Okay, I am back and our decoupage paper has dried. So I have my finger sander and scoot this over just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and sand off. I'm just sanding in a downward motion. So, and you need to make sure your paper is totally dry before you do this. But this is so cool the way this works. Just going to sand all my excess paper off here. Go. Now I'm probably going to have to touch up the edges of my wood piece here with the cathedral taupe, but that won't be too much of touch up that I'll have to do. So if you do a lot of crafting, do you have this little finger sander? I didn't have one for the longest time. I used a sanding block, which works just as what, you know, it works also. But this is so nice to have one of these. And they're not really that expensive, and you get several sandpapers with them. So yeah, there's just a little bit right there that I'm going to touch up really quick. And then we are going to put this onto our wood blank that got painted and stamped. But I just want to touch this up really quick. Make sure it looks good on the edges. I really don't think too much happened from the sanding. I think that was from when I painted the front of it in the plaster color before I put the decoupage on. I think that's what most of that was. So not really anything happened when I sanded. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I always check. I'm going to put this in the center of this sign that I had painted. I want to make sure that it does have a hanger on it already. So I want to make sure my hanger is at the top facing the correct direction before I do this. And I am going to use Titebond original wood glue. And I'm going to glue this on this piece of wood onto the wood sign. I just thought it would make the paper stand out a little bit more and give it a little bit more dimension. Give it a little bit higher end look. So I really like the Titebond wood glue when I'm gluing wood pieces together. I use it for a lot of repairs on furniture and that kind of thing. Now, okay, so I want to make sure, so I have my hanger the correct way. Now I need to get this in center as much as I possibly can. I can kind of use the grid lines a little bit of the stamp. That kind of helps. I mean, I can move it around a little bit, but I don't want to move it around too much because of, I don't want to smear the wood glue. Move it over just a little bit. And look at it from all directions, see how I like it. I could have measured this, but I'm not the measure. I don't measure a lot. I do measure in my junk journaling, but crafting, Like this, I usually just try to eyeball it, and it usually turns out pretty good. Okay, so I feel like that's already like sticking, but see, I did move it a little bit, so I have a little bit of wood glue showing, just a little bit, but and here's the project with the rice paper from the painted photographer. What do you think of this? Here it is from the side. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.